Let's get to these games, man. Let's get to these games. Let's start out with Boston too. But Boston, they'll say fuck you.
Boston was the other city I was looking for.
Not me. Start out with since we here with our Eagles fans. Fly Eagles fly. I on Saturday Morning Live was really close to picking the Giants, and I did not.
I was not.
I am glad I didn't. This game looked just
fraudulent,
overwhelmed. New York Giants just looked overwhelmed against the Philadelphia Eagles. Jalen Hurts didn't even have like a great game. He had a bad game. They just beat the Giants up the whole game.
If you've been listening to this podcast since the beginning of the season, the majority of the stuff that I have said has come to fruition. I told you that the Vikings were fake. I have been telling you since day one that the Giants are fake. I have said every day, everything about the Giants is counterfeit. Now, Thibodeau, I do like him.
He's a beast. He is a beast. But he's a beast.
But and this is why I love the way that sports play out. Danny Dimes is not a good football player, but he's tricked y'all into all season looking like a guy who you're going to have to pay some money to. But the last game is terrible, but it doesn't matter because you're already stuck between a rock and a hard place, because if you fire him and you guys don't win, they're going to say that it was
between a rock and a hard place. They could trade up and get another quarterback.
You have to that's half of it. You have to trade up, get a quarterback, and that quarterback has to get you to the playoffs. Or you're going to get fired. You lose.
Nah, Brian Daboll's not good. Brian Daboll about to be coach of the year. Well, maybe behind the Eagles coach. He'll be in the running for coach of the year. I don't think he'll be fired. But I mean, they have all of Kansas City's picks. They have They have like 4 Kansas. Kansas City gave up like 3 picks for Kadarius Toney. Like, but I mean, they also have a crap because Kansas City also had Miami's picks.
Miami picks, and KDT is good.
He just didn't want to play football no more. he said, "I don't want to play football if Daniel Jones is gonna be my quarterback."
And I mean, Kadarius has a high chance to go to the to the Super Bowl. Giants is going home.
Talk about that on Saturday Morning Live, man. We'll get there. But shout out to the Eagles, man. Eagles made it to the NFC Championship game, which I called. Eagles, what?
New York Giants are trading speedy wide receiver to the Kansas City Chiefs in exchange for a 2023 compensatory pick, a 2023 6th-round pick.
They got it for a 6th-round pick? So they got it for 2 picks.
Compensatory pick. That's nothing.
Yeah,
you can have them too.
That means he didn't want to be there at all, and he was.
How hard it's going to be to draft somebody as good as KDT in the 3rd round? That's not a foregone conclusion. He ain't Tyreek, but he gets you close to what you need in that offense.
I mean, in that offense, and he couldn't catch a cold in New York. He was dropping, and in Florida, he had the dropsies.
Hey, well, call him flu now. Whatever it was, it ain't that no more.
So, I mean, we stepping on the Eagles though. We stepping on the Eagles. We stepping on the Eagles actually making it to the NFC Championship game. And like you always said, you always like to say, "Oh, everything you said was come to fruition on this." Blah 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 blah. I'm the one that picked the Eagles to make it to the NFC Championship.
I picked the Cowboys. Should have known that. Should have known that. I still think the Cowboys number 2 team in the NFC East. Yeah, definitely number 2 team in the NFC East.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, that's over the Giants and the Commandos.
Well, everybody thought the Giants was good until they played the Eagles and got destroyed.
The Eagles have destroyed almost everybody. They lost 3 games, and 2 of them, their starting quarterback was out.
Yes, you're right. I don't trust the Eagles for some reason.
You don't like being wrong. Shout out to
I don't mind being wrong. I just don't. It's something about them. It's same thing with the Giants. I was like, I can look at this and say I don't trust this.
So the Chiefs actually punched their ticket to the AFC Championship game. They beat Jarek. It's crazy how Jarek has become like a fixture of the Chiefs like age because he scored. He didn't score this game, but he scored a six.
Score a lot
game.
of touchdowns. They're gonna put you on there. So.
The Chiefs won 27-20 over Jacksonville. Patrick Mahomes played. Honestly, this game wasn't going. I said this game wasn't going to be close. I said this game was going to be close. It was going to be closer than what people thought. A lot of people thought it was going to be up, that the Chiefs were just going to blow them out. I think the Chiefs were going to blow them out. I think the Chiefs, because Travis Kelce had 14 catches or set a record. It was Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes, whole game. And
he's
then
just so good at finding a way to get open.
The problem is, Patrick Mahomes got hurt. Got that high ankle sprain. Matter of fact, when he got hurt, they cheered. See how he's limping coming into the game? It was 17-10.
I was not a big proponent of him coming back into this game. I think the Chad Henne played good on that 98-yard drive. And this man, y'all committed $500 million to him.
Driven.
And I think
it was 17-10. It was 17-10. I don't think so. If there's no way. You the same person that just said that Danny Dimes tricked y'all. If you think Chad Henne was that 98-yard drive against Jacksonville was saying that he's good enough to beat Jacksonville, I think he tricked you. I don't think he was good enough to win that game.
I think he could have coasted. That's where you and I just disagreed.
Coasted?
That's where we disagree.
They only scored 10 more points in the whole game.
Yeah, I think that Mahomes being hobbled, I would not have played Mahomes, and I think I could have won with Chad Henne.
So the Chiefs have made it to 5 consecutive AFC championships. First team in NFL history. The last AFC team to get to 4 in a row, of course, the Buffalo Bills of the 90s, and now sets up for the matchup, which is going to be a rematch of last year's AFC Championship game, where it is the Chiefs and the Bengals, because the Bengals ended up beating the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo. And when I say beat Buffalo Bills in Buffalo, they beat them easily. I knew this game was over, kind of like national championship with Georgia. When they went down there and scored the first touchdown in like hot knife through butter, I was like, oh, Bills in trouble. So they ended up winning 27-10, and I think it could have gotten to 41-10 if the conditions were right. I don't think whatever weather they played in, I think Joe Burrow is looking like he is trying to rival Patrick Mahomes for best quarterback in the league right now.
He's right in that. It's tough because he's getting outshined because Patrick Mahomes is having the best start to a career of a quarterback in NFL history. Burrow's first 2 seasons ain't no slouch either, but Mahomes is just.
Yeah, Mahomes won the Super Bowl in his 3rd year. Joe Burrow made it to the Super Bowl in his 2nd year. And
it also just doesn't look as good. It's a lot of wins, but the Chiefs, no.
This is good damn throwing. This is good offense. They are a complete team.
It's good offense, but the Chiefs' offense is just more. Hayden Hurst, former Falcon. It's just more exciting. I like the Chiefs. I mean, I like the Bengals, but if I gotta watch one, give me Andy Reid, Pat Mahomes, man. That's magical. This is good though. This is damn good.
They are good, man.
And that's a young coach too. That's a very young coach.
Young coach, young quarterback, young running back, young offense, young receivers. They spent $100 million on the offensive line. They are the team to me. And if you want to be honest, Joe Burrow is 2-0 against Patrick Mahomes. Or 3-0. I don't think he's lost to Patrick Mahomes since he played him.
Let me ask you a question. You got to pick one. Who you picking?
I don't know. Push. Right
You
now,
think you
it's a
taking
push.
too long?
I said, I don't know. Push. I said push. Right now. I mean, he's 3-0 against them. The Bengals right now, if you had to pick the Bengals or you had to pick the Chiefs right now to win, who would you pick? You don't know.
If I have to start a franchise tomorrow and I have to pick Joe Burrow or Patrick Mahomes, I'm not even giving it a second guess. I'm not even, and respect to Joe Burrow, I like his game. I am not wasting one moment, 1 second considering Joe Burrow.
I mean, Patrick Mahomes is the answer. To me, this is like the Tom Brady versus Peyton Manning discussion to me. Peyton Manning was the better quarterback.
And I never for a second even considered Peyton Manning in that conversation.
What? You tripping. Peyton Manning was always the more talented quarterback than Tom Brady. Peyton Manning was always. See? So you can't say you don't care about talent because Patrick Mahomes is the more talented quarterback in this discussion, but he can't beat Burrow. He might beat him this week, but he hasn't beaten Burrow yet. So you can't say, well, you can contradict yourself all you want to, but you can't say I never considered Peyton Manning.
I see what you did there.
Peyton Manning is Patrick Mahomes in this conversation, and Joe Burrow is Tom Brady in this conversation in the comparison. That's who it is.
You could dress Tom. No, I just respectfully disagree.
That's fine. You can
give me touchdown Tom. Give me Mahomes. You pick whoever, and soon enough, yes. So I do like Burrows.
AFC Championship game. Not even thinking about you guys. How much did that motivate you coming into this?
You better send those refunds.
Woo! Now that is in reference to the neutral site game that was going to be in Atlanta if it was Buffalo versus Kansas City. And now they said you better send those refunds because the Bengals were the most consistent team in the AFC all year long. Yeah. Nah, I don't say most consistent because the Chiefs. But, I mean, they were up there with the Chiefs. They were up there with the Chiefs to be the most consistent team in the AFC. This is going to be a good game, and the Bengals are built to beat the Chiefs. They are built to beat the Chiefs.
And Mahomes has a high ankle sprain.
Even if they beat Mahomes when he was healthy last year, and they had Tyreek, the Bengals are built to beat the Chiefs, whether Mahomes is healthy or not. And it can happen. The Bengals' defense is good. Their defensive line is good. Their offense is good. It's just the Chiefs have Patrick Mahomes. But at the end of the day, you would take the Bengals' skill positions over the Chiefs' skill positions, minus maybe the quarterback. Yeah, you would. 100%. What receiver you taking from the Chiefs over any of the Bengals receivers? What
Travis
receiver?
Kelce?
Now there's tight end. That's tight end. What receiver?
Pass catcher.
No. That's not what I asked you. What wide receiver would you take from the Chiefs over?
I'm not taking any of the wide
exactly.
receivers.
That's what I'm saying. Their skill positions are better than the Chiefs' skill positions, minus, Patrick Mahomes and of course Travis Kelce. But as a whole, they have the better running back. They have the better receivers. They have just as good an offensive line, and they're not skill position, and just as good an offensive line. I love Jarek too. Joe Mixon is better than Jarek.
But
talk your way through.
I like Pacheco and Jarek. I like that. That covers more bases.
Joe Mixon is better than both of them. Joe Mixon is better. Joe Mixon is better than both of them.
Give me the Chiefs. That's what I'm gonna say. If you gotta give me a running back room, I want the Chiefs.
I like it. Loyalty to the family. I like it. I like it.
Chiefs. Quarterback room. Give me the Chiefs.
I'm not. There's no way. Okay. Running back room. I'm taking Joe Mixon and Samaje Perine over Jarek and Pacheco. I like Pacheco. But I don't think he's better.
I'm willing
than
to be biased,
one.
but
I know it's obvious. You're literally wearing your bias like a Joker mask right now.
I don't know now.
You are.
The man. He did break the record for most.
Come on, man.
Touchdown. Hey, man.
So if you had to start a franchise right now, would you take Joe Mixon or would you take Jarek? See,
Mixon
think
is
it
a
too
more
long.
complete
You
back.
think it too long.
If
You
I
think
got
too long.
Pacheco too,
No.
then give me Jared Pacheco.
See, it's a whole lot of buts and ifs and ands and ahs and oohs. No.
But I'm taking. But okay, well, yeah. But then Pacheco is killing some IJP Ryan. So yeah, I'm okay with that.
You said Pacheco is killing some IJP Ryan?
Yeah. So we back at a dog fall.
No, you
and if you're looking at all things considered, I know that Travis Kelce plays tight end, but for all intents and purposes, he is a wide receiver and he gets the same amount of targets.
I'll give you that. I'll give you Travis Kelce is a receiver. You are still taking the Bengals skill position over you taking Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, Hayden Hurst over Valdez Scantling, Travis Kelce, and Juju. The person that you and Juju Smith-Schuster, the person that you hate the most.
Y'all remember when Juju was a number one? Boy, he was living a lie.
So how can you sit there? How you gonna sit there and see your bias? Like I said, you wearing your bias like a mask. It's cool. I applaud it. But you wearing your bias like a mask. It ain't close to me. It ain't close. Now there's the Joker.
The wide receiver group for Kansas City could be better.
Could be better? They have no number one.
Travis Kelce is the number one. You ain't figured that out yet?
Okay, Travis Kelce. Well, then they don't have a tight end.
They don't now. They got one. Juju, he a tight end now. He showed up. Okay. Boy, if I'm Antonio Brown, when I see Juju, I'm gonna slap the shit out of him.
Nope, you can't, because I'm taking restraining order on you. You already got 17 strikes against you.
Yep, and you're banned from Snapchat from snapping your jab. Got him.
I actually wanted you to make that the album art, but I was like, no, we can't do that.
Hell no. Hell no. You want the whole album art to be blocked out?
Yeah.
Oh my God. And if y'all don't know what we're talking about,
don't worry about it. Don't look it up either.
There.
Don't look it up either. Stephon Diggs was big mad. Want me to be okay with losing? Nah. Want me to be okay with our level of play when it's not up to the standard? Nah. It's easy to criticize my reaction more than the result. Basically, Stephon Diggs ran out of the locker room after he scored. Bills wide receiver Stephon Diggs darted out of the locker room with all his stuff before some of the Bills coaches were even down the tunnel area. Practice squad running back Duke Johnson's practice squad? He was good. Stopped Diggs before he left the stadium and brought him back to the locker room, only for Diggs to leave a few minutes later. He was big mad. Stephon Diggs was mad, but hey man, you can't leave your team. You lost with your team just like everybody else lost. Don't be a front runner. Don't be a front runner, dude.
And you get paid. You get paid a ton of money. You don't get to do just the fun parts. When it's great, I stick around. Oh, we lost. I'm out of here. That's a sucker move. And once again, another guy who I think the world of, I think is a top tier wide receiver. You can't do this type of stuff. And shout out to Duke Johnson, especially. I didn't know that you were a practice squad running back.
Duke was good.
Having the balls to be like, nah, come back in here and at least try to hold the team together. I respect the hell out of that. Stephon Diggs.
Eli Apple retweeted him too. Like, you're Cancun on 3. Eli Apple is a menace. And I don't think he's good enough to be the menace that he is, personally. And
there's definitely a conglomerate of people out there who believe that he's one of the worst players of all time.
Eli Apple is not. I will say I say he's a decent corner. His
You take it too long.
The start to his career was so bad. It was like Isaiah Oliver bad. For the Falcons fans, Isaiah Oliver was so bad at the beginning of his career. He was out of place.
Just getting whooped.
They tried to make him a number one corner, and I was like, hey, he is not him. But then, of course, there is the game of the week. And as you can tell, Sneaky really did Ninja Vanish, though. as you can tell, Cowboys fans were so mad that they lost. Look, this is how it started. They scored a touchdown. They just knew they were going to the NFC Championship game. He big happy. Woo!
That's one of the worst haircuts in history.
That's the I can't say
Dallas.
Certain people from Dallas. Yeah.
Get out of there. Get out of there. Get out of there. Get out of there. Yeah, but first you have to see that is the difference between a Falcons fan and a Cowboys fan. We don't have this level of hubris. We just, hey, we see how this game plays out, and hopefully it goes well.
Bang!
Now
I feel like this was staged.
First of all, Michael Scott, that little bit of TV you had everybody watching.
That's why I said it was staged. Ain't no way they had that little ass TV and everybody in there watching. Nah, that wasn't it. That's staged. That was staged.
The banner above the TV is bigger than the TV.
And the fact that this is staged, that shows that you knew that you were going to lose. So you were ready to punch the TV.
And the funny thing about this, there are multiple views of this. So I definitely think it was staged. Now this, I love. I absolutely love. Nothing like an old black man in a Cowboys jersey.
I don't understand.
And a pickup truck. Boy, this is peak Texas.
With the rim for the kids in the neighborhood.
The movable goal, yeah.
What I don't understand.
Watch this.
Big man. What I don't understand is, like, I love the Falcons. I ain't never been mad enough at the Falcons, even at 28-3, to break my own shit.
I don't hate myself. But I love to watch these fans express themselves. It's more than reasonable to do what you want. You bought the TV, ruin it, wreck it. You can wreck the car next.
That might be the album art. I don't understand why Cowboys fans don't talk about the Giants losing. The Giants lost. The Giants got beat 38-7 on the same weekend. And Stephen A. Smith is a Giants fan, and yet
Steelers fan.
He's not. He's a Giants fan. He has an AFC
Steelers fan too.
Okay, they both suck. One didn't make it to the playoffs. The other one got beat 38-7. Now arbitrary. Don't nobody care.
And that's why we call him Quick Scope Davis, ladies and gentlemen. You see, he went right into the bag and said, what? Everybody can get it. Matter of fact, lay down and get down. I'm pulling out the chopper. Hey, Giants, I got some bullets for you. Steelers, y'all catch this chopper too. We don't play no games out here.
One thing about the Cowboys, though, if I'm the defense, I am mad at the offense. I mean, look at this. Just shut up. 69 is their best. That's McGlinchey. That's their best offensive lineman. And Micah Parsons just...
It is for surely not.
No, I'm sorry. The second best, Trent Williams. I forgot. My bad, Trent. I don't want no problems. Trent Williams does pull-ups with 315 pounds hanging from his body. I don't want no problems. He can outrun a car. I don't want no problems. But
that's the reason I had to clarify. I was like, whoa.
But
whoa.
Micah Parsons is for real. And Micah Parsons also said, we allowed only 19 points. 19. And 14 of them, 14 of them, they got off turnovers, if I'm not mistaken. The first touchdown they got
19 points to a backup quarterback is a lot of points.
See, that's not fair, because you constantly said, you just said that Shanahan and Zachary Taylor Thomas could go over there and you put them with an offensive genius and all that other stuff. So you can't say it's a backup quarterback now. If Shanahan is as good as you say he is, then it is what it is. And they only allowed 19 points.
I agree with that. I do, 100%. I think that Shanahan is one of the top 4 or 5 coaches in NFL, if not top 3. I also have to just be able to say to myself, as a defensive player, Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, a backup quarterback, can't get 19 points. Like, no.
Bruh.
Now,
Brock Purdy got the ball.
Dak throwing picks. Dak throwing picks is what kind of sold them.
Yeah, that was my point.
He threw 2 picks and really should have thrown 3. The other one hit the man in the chest and he dropped.
Yeah, Dak had a horrible game. That's what I'm saying. And then the Cowboys offense really went downhill when the running back got hurt. Golly, what's his name? Number 20. Once the running back Tony Pollard. Once Tony Pollard got hurt, because Zeke, if there's anything that showed that Zeke ain't it was that game. Tony Pollard got hurt, and they just stopped running. They just could not run the ball.
Who didn't know that Zeke wasn't it?
Well, I mean, everybody knew, but I mean, it is apparent now. Like
the better question is, when was the last time that Zeke was it?
No, they keep resigning. They keep him on the roster for. I mean, because he falls forward, he's like a fullback. But at this,
he's
he ain't a
toast.
center.
He is done after this year.
I'm about to say, I don't know if they keep Zeke after this year.
Yeah, no, there's no way Tony Pollard's the better running back now. Now I don't know what his situation is now with his leg being broke, but I'm not paying Zeke any more money. And I mean, at a certain point, we're gonna have the conversation about Zeke and how good exactly he was.
He was good. He just fell off the running back cliff. All running, Todd Gurley, Zeke.
In how many years?
I think he was good for like 4 years. He was good enough to get another contract. I mean,
Todd Gurley is the quickest descent. He is basically the Ben Simmons of football.
No, Ben Simmons. No. Ben Simmons' injury was phantom. Todd Gurley had arthritis.
No, I'm not talking about the
knees.
injury. I'm talking about being at this level and then just falling off the complete face of the earth. Yeah. Todd Gurley went from a Super Bowl
in the same season. No. During that season is when it started to go down. You remember his carries dropped as the season kept going to where he wasn't really even playing in the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
he didn't really play. Brock Purdy though, 262 pick. All the receipts. This is what Nick Saban said to Brock Purdy when he visited Alabama, which means he visited Alabama. He wasn't invited. You're below average in height. Your arm strength is whatever, and your accuracy is average. If Nick Saban is speaking like, Nick Saban's talking to him like, why are you even here? Which
Nick Saban had a rough year now. He had a rough
year. I mean, at the time, I think they had Tua. They had Jalen, and they had. I understand what you're saying. I mean, 200. They passed up on Brock Purdy 261 times.
Yeah, I 100% agree. But what I'm saying is, if you look at all the things that have happened to Nick Saban in this calendar year, has not been fantastic.
I don't think this is big of a
Spider-Man meme.
16 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 115.1.
That's a lie. I can't even call it Spider-Man meme, and then he do this.
Yeah, again, Jimmy
Garoppolo would have had you by 7 more interceptions. My bad, Brock Purdy. I don't trust you, but this is impressive, and it's much more impressive than anything that Jimmy Garoppolo has ever done.
What do you do? What do you do with Trey Lance? Because for all intents and purposes, if Brock Purdy, let's say they play really, really well against the Eagles, win or lose, they play really, really well, and it's not his fault that they don't win, or it's his fault that they lose. I mean, it's not his fault that they lose, or it's his fault that they win, and he makes the Super Bowl. You can't not make him the starter, can you? He's got to be the starter next year if he plays well in this next game, right?
Man, this is a problem that I don't want to have. I guess it's a problem that I would like to have, because that means that you're winning a ton of games and you're in the Super Bowl conversation. But it's a shitty conversation to have, because there's no good answer.
You either look dumb by making Brock Purdy the starter, and he ends up being boo-boo, or you look dumb. You look dumb by making Brock Purdy the starter and making Trey Lance the backup because you gave up 4 picks, or you look dumb for starting Trey Lance, who has not played football in 3 years now, over a guy that just took you to the Super Bowl or took you to the NFC Championship game. It is a lose situation. Unless
will Trey Lance be ready to start the season? That is the only.
Yeah, he'll be ready by training camp. He got hurt in the preseason. He got hurt in the final preseason game.
I don't have an answer for you then. That was the one saving grace is, hey, he's not quite at 100% yet. We're gonna work with the team that we got. Once he gets healthy, we'll reassess then, and you could probably blend it. And then from there, if he's playing good through 3 or 4 games, hey, at this point, we don't want to, change what we got going. We just rock with this. But if you got to start the season, you got to make a difficult decision.
Yeah, man. I don't really have nothing to say about this picture. I just wanted to show y'all Jerry Rice and his chain with his blue bow tie, and I guess that's supposed to be red or orange shirt.
No. The tie is black. And let me be very clear for all of my listeners. First of all, this is an Express outfit. And Jerry, you are too old and too rich to be wearing them stretchy shirts out of Express.
You know where Jerry Rice is from?
Also, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all this. I feel like if y'all listen to this, y'all probably, I hope y'all understand what I'm saying here. Don't wear a pre-tie bow tie anymore. If you can't tie a bow tie, don't put it on. Just don't do it. It is one. I ain't gonna shame.
I wore a pre-tie bow tie to a wedding that I was in, so I ain't gonna shame nobody. It is what it is.
I hate that because sometimes you have to because they want everybody to match. Bro, do not put me in no pre-tie bow tie.
Well, then you better have a talk with one of your friends because I'm pretty sure that's what we wearing. Oh man, where am I? Let's hurry up and finish.
Oh, that's fine because I'm a team captain. I have just something different.
So let's get to the Cowboys since they lost. Everybody is sick. Look what the Cowboys. This should get Mike McCarthy fired. They had Ezekiel Elliott at center, and
that should get Zeke fired.
Why? Well, I dare you to fire me for putting me a running back at center.
It doesn't matter, bro. That is the most basic football of all time right there. That's one man who's a linebacker, you're a running back. That's bad pass blocking. I don't care what you're doing, bro. You had been snapped the ball. Get ready to block. You just let him. No, that is not blocking. That's bad. That's bad too.
But Brock Purdy has now tied Dak Prescott and Tony Romo for career playoff. I mean, they are killing them. Jerry Jones said the team is upset.
Very upset.
No.
Oh, I didn't see the caption. Haven't seen Jerry Jones this upset since they ended racial segregation in schools. Jesus, Dak Prescott when it matters most. Chokity, chokity, choke. Chokity, chokity, choke.
Old Joffrey.
Woo! They said he took that Pfizer jab. Yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Are you Stephon Diggs?
But for me, I think that people keep talking about Dak getting paid all that money. You got to get that out of your mind. Nobody thinks Dak is worth that. Dak is worth that because he didn't get paid any of that money all them other years.
Jeez, the
internet is just disrespectful.
Oh my God. 3 things in life: death, taxes, and a Dak INT. Has thrown 12 INTs in his last 9 games. That's crazy. He's thrown 12 INTs in his last 9 games and threw none last game.
Should have been 13.
And he threw none last
13.
game. He threw none.
He had a pass into the flats, and he jumped that route, and I was like, oh boy, he should have went to the crib with that
one. They are killing him.
Goodness.
Good Lord. I don't even want to see
the internet is a brutal place.
So this is Jerry talking about
could have handled the situations on anything we had tonight. We came up short. We're sick. Sick.
What did you think?
Sick. Our team.
Jerry, sick of it.
Now he looks sick too.
7
but Jerry, this is your
divisional
fault.
round losses. Why is it? I don't listen. I don't fault anybody else but Dak Prescott in the offense for this loss. The defense played well. The defense played so well. And if I'm Tony Pollard, y'all better break me off a lot of money. The offense went to shit without me.
Jerry,
Look at that
first of all, you should not have gotten rid of Amari Cooper. That was a bad deal. It's a bad deal how you got him because you didn't want to pay the wide receiver. You didn't want to pay for a wide receiver one then. You let him go, and you needed another wide receiver.
Because CeeDee Lamb is the truth. Got to give a shout out to CeeDee Lamb because I was not sold on him, and he was it. It's like the 49ers said, okay, we'll let CeeDee Lamb catch the ball and nobody else.
And on top of that, you got Mike McCarthy as a coach. I think that out of all the people who played this week, Mike McCarthy was the worst coach.
Andy Reid, Brian Daboll,
Doug Peterson,
Daboll. I don't know the Eagles head coach name. He's a young dude.
Nick Sirianni. I can't remember Zach something from the Bengals. I can't think of his last name right now.
It's not Snyder, but it might be. No, it's not Wilson. And then the Bills head coach. Yeah, you might be right. He's the worst head coach.
Yeah.
I mean, this is what good teams do, though. Good teams expose the holes in your team. Pause if necessary.
I'll allow it.
The 49ers exposed that the Cowboys don't have another wide receiver. The 49ers, unfortunately, injuries exposed that the Cowboys don't have another running back. They don't have and
who didn't know that? Who did not know that?
Dalton Schultz. You are on a contract year. You, sir, went from being re-signed and we're going to be the number one tight end. It was supposed to be the next great tight end in Dallas. You may be fired. You had like 3 bad plays in a row. Didn't get his foot down. Didn't know that you have to be going forward unless the clock is still running. Like, you didn't know any of this stuff, and it cost you guys valuable time and
no football IQ. I hate to say it. You can be good. It's kind of like the reverse Patrick Beverly effect or the Draymond effect. You can be a really good athlete. You can be a good player. But if you don't know what's going on the field, all of your skill level is off or not. And he just blew it.
I don't know. I'm interested to see because now the Cowboys are in that NFL clutch of you don't really have a high draft pick. You're kind of in the middle, and you don't really have a ton of cap space either, if I'm not mistaken, because you paid the defense all that money, and you paid Dak, and now you probably gonna have to pay CD here in another year or two, and you have to pay Tony Pollard. Wait?
If you haven't learned anything, you should at least learn from Dak. When I can pay him, pay him.
Pay him now. So the Cowboys, man, going into this offseason, Jerry got a lot of thinking to do. He's sick. So that sets up the NFC Championship game. Oh, go ahead. Finish what you about to say.
Yeah, for me, they the only thing that kind of helps him out is even if you ran this team back as is, you're still number 2.
At the best.
In the NFC East.
At best.
No, I think they're comfortably number 2. I don't think that now depends on what New York does with Danny Dimes and their draft picks. The thing that could be a problem because Daboll is a good coach.
Commandos too, man. They got draft picks. They could draft a quarterback. They got running backs. They got receivers. They got defense. They need a quarterback. I don't trust their
organization enough.
Fair. That's fair.
For them to suddenly just start making right decisions.
Yeah. Snyder
wouldn't trust the Giants until I've seen what Daboll has done. I think that Daboll, and it's scary that the Giants might be kind of on to something, but Daboll probably got them. I mean,
think about the Bills. The Bills actually took a step back offensively.
Who?
And the Bills. Daboll came from the Bills.
Yeah.
The Bills took a step back.
I thought your boy was gonna be better. Dalvin's little brother.
He's good. He's good.
But
he's not a. James was never going to be Dalvin. Dalvin is an every down back. James is not that. James is a change of pace back. they don't have a running back in Buffalo. They need a running back. A hard enough. If I'm Buffalo, I look at trading something and seeing if I. Yeah, Bijan, Derrick Henry, somebody. Something. Derrick Henry wants to leave. I think he wants to leave Tennessee, but that's another conversation. I
think that's very reasonable. Who wanted? I don't think many people want to stay in Tennessee anymore.
And I mean, if you could go to Buffalo, where you have a ready-made team and Josh Allen, could you imagine Josh? Now I said Kyler Murray earlier. Can you imagine Josh Allen and Derrick Henry? Who you gonna tackle? Nobody. But this sets up the NFC Championship game with Jalen Hurts versus Brock Purdy. And everybody's talking about when Iowa State played Oklahoma when Jalen Hurts had 273 yards. He had 350 total yards, 5 TDs. Brock Purdy had 340 total yards and 6 TDs, and it ended up coming down to the last game where Oklahoma was clearly had better athletes, clearly. But Brock Purdy played pretty well, and it was CeeDee Lamb and Jalen Hurts. I think Hollywood.
That don't even seem fair.
I think Hollywood was on that team too. CeeDee Lamb had a hell of a game.
But didn't Purdy have a better stats?
He had an extra touchdown.
I think he had 6 touchdowns in this game. God,
6 touchdowns.
That don't count though.
6
wasn't even
touchdowns.
nobody over there by him. Y'all didn't even attempt to defend.
Well, Oklahoma has bad defense. He had 6 touchdowns, but he also led the comeback. But I mean, Jalen Hurts had 5. I mean, it's not like it was, and Jalen Hurts had more yardage. But Brock Purdy, this game was. I remember this game. And Brock Purdy brought them
a lot of time, and he once again
back
wide ass open
because they don't play defense in Oklahoma.
They
came all the way. Look, and they came all the way back, and then they lost.
I hate tape like this because you can't even tell if a player is good or not.
On any
you
side.
Can't even
on either side. Or if the coach
every
is good,
time they show a highlight, there's nobody else in the film but you. Did he fall down every time?
Well, I mean, that's always been my thing about Ohio State quarterbacks. When you look at them film in college, they don't make no hard throws. They don't have to throw it in a tight window. They be wide open every time. And then when they have to play a team that makes them throw in tight windows, they lose every time. But I'm looking forward to this matchup. I'm sure this is really going to be a defensive battle. I look for another San Francisco versus Dallas type score. I don't think either team is going to run it up. I think San Francisco's team is made to travel. I think they will have no problem with Philly's crowd or being in the elements because they play defense and they have just as many defensive linemen as Philly. I think Philly at home is a hell of a team. And I honestly will have to sit here and think about it for the next 4 days of who I'm going to pick on Saturday Morning Live because and Fred Warner is
Pop Warner
everywhere.
Call that man by his name, Pop.
He
Warner.
is everywhere. I mean, he was he guarded the tight end. He was lined up at the defensive end and ran straight down the field and guarded the tight end at the goal line, 40 yards away. It's tough. And if there's
he doesn't get enough credit for being as good as he.
He's the highest. What do you mean? He's the highest paid linebacker in the league.
I don't feel like he gets enough like media attention, enough hype. You know, they typically love to show linebackers and
it's about the team though with San Francisco. They're always gonna make it about the team.
It ain't even the team, it's the entire organization. John Lynch.
Yeah. But the San Francisco 49ers
for putting together a great leadership team, a great coaching staff, and that has now moved to players on the field. They got a good thing going, man.
Yeah. John Lynch made the hire to save his job with Shanahan. I think against Philadelphia, they are the team that would be able to expose Philadelphia's weakness. And their Philadelphia's defensive weakness, they only got one, and it's the linebackers. And George Kittle looked like he was trying to close the gap between him and Kelsey. He is a beast, and he blocks.
Nah,
he's burying everybody.
He's good though. He's good, but you ain't.
He'll never be as good a pass catcher as Kelsey, but he's as a complete tight end. I think he's probably better as a complete. He can block. He blocked the defensive end for the Cowboys. I think it was Lawrence. He put him in the ground. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, that was another thing yesterday. Boy, there's a lot of hitting. Boy, a lot of people got dropped yesterday.
On both sides. I was like, Cowboys defense is real. So shout out to the 49ers. Shout out to the Cowboys. Shout out to everybody. I think that's it, man.